and welcome back to another episode of my secret mess. Make it sound extra fancy, when really it's just a series where I show you my most embarrassing messes and we clean them up together. If you've been hanging out here for a while, we may have cleaned together before, but my secret mess, I'm gonna be saving those from here on out. Those are gonna be the worst of the worst messes. The ones I don't even wanna look at, let alone show anyone else at all. We're gonna face the embarrassment. This is, we're cleaning my office. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but this office was so bad. It was so bad. And I feel like it gets this way every year at the end of the year, mainly due to the amount of things that happen in this office, especially around Halloween season. The time of year where I'm bringing in a lot of stuff and not necessarily finding places for it yet. And I always bring it into my office first so we can do hauls, but then I also do like different backgrounds and scenery and take photos of it, or we do costume try-ons. So I have a lot of things in this office, and then we just get straight into the holiday season. So I feel like the end of the year is kind of a full spiral for me every time, because I feel like I don't really catch up between Halloween and Christmas. And then I just end up shutting my office door and then just ignoring it until the beginning of the year. So you're going to see a lot of Halloween stuff in here, which you love yourself some Halloween. This is going to feed your spooky soul. So anyways, I'm going to show you the before. Here we go. I'm just gonna show you. It was really bad. Lots of Halloween stuff everywhere, which doesn't embarrass me at all. That gets me all excited. But it's the fact that there wasn't a sliver of a floor to be found. Like, not one little sliver. I like to show this and kind of do this in the intro, because if you can relate to this and you're like, yeah, I have a room like this or a cabinet like this or whatever it is, I'm gonna go through step by step how I take on the room, like what I start with, and then how I eventually get to the cleaning process. So if you haven't watched my cleaning videos here on YouTube before, I do a voiceover through the whole thing. If you don't prefer that, that's totally fine. You can hit the mute button, play whatever music you want. So take what you want from the video, leave what you don't want. And if you're just looking for some cleaning motivation, I feel like this is a good one. Anyways, we're gonna jump into this office clean out. But before we do, I wanted to mention the sponsor for today's video. Today's video is sponsored by Function of Beauty, which you'll see more Function of Beauty later in the video when we do the bathroom clean out. And then I'm gonna set up my little shower. It's like my little guest shower area, but it has its own little aesthetic. Anyways, this video is sponsored by Function of Beauty, and I've been talking about Function of Beauty now for over a year. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Cannot stop talking about the purple shampoo. I think I've talked about it 3,000 times because it helps keep the brassiness out of my silver hair. And if you haven't heard of Function of Beauty before, Function of Beauty is a custom hair care brand. Just in general, I love Function of Beauty because you can customize your hair care based on your own unique hair care needs. But basically what you do is you take a quiz. The quiz asks you different questions about your hair type. If you have straight hair, curly hair, what type of scalp you have, if it's oily, dry, all the things. And also your hair goals. So for me, since I do bleach my hair, I always stay in the realm of hydrate, replenish, anything that's gonna help keep my hair healthier, grow longer. Those are usually my type of goals. Also, reduce brassiness is an option. So if you click reduce brassiness, you get a purple shampoo that helps tone out the brassiness. But this is my favorite purple shampoo I've ever used because it actually lathers and it distributes the product evenly, which is something I struggled with other purple shampoos. It just kind of slapped on, and then moving it around was really hard. It would just like be kind of splotchy and weird. Anyways, it's my favorite purple shampoo. Wanted to mention it in case you're blonde, going through the same thing. Love Function of Beauty because you can customize everything. You can customize the scent, the color, also has your name on it. So it says Function of and has your name. So no one has any excuses when you say, mine's the one with my name on it. Don't touch that one. Also, what I did in this video, and I hadn't thought about before, but I'm all excited about it, is since you can customize the color, you can also get your, like, the guest bathroom shampoo and conditioner. Just come up with different color schemes. I've never had a guest bathroom shower aesthetic, and now I do, and I'm all excited about it. And in my guest bathroom, I used the 8-ounce set, but I'll also show you the 16-ounce set because you can get 20% off right now, the 16-ounce set. So if you're wanting to try Function of Beauty, you can get 20% off your first 16-ounce set. If you click the link down in my description box and subscribe, subscribe. And I also recommend becoming a member if you're wanting exclusive perks like free shipping. So yeah, definitely check out Function of Beauty if you're wanting to try some custom hair care. Anyways, we're gonna start decluttering, organizing, and cleaning this office and bathroom. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Here we go. So before we start cleaning up, I wanted to show you one more time this impressive mess I made. Figured we could admire my hoarding skills together before we start cleaning this up. So here it is in all of its glory. So now that we've taken a proper gander, we're going to start cleaning this up. And in a situation like this where there's a lot of clutter, maybe you have a space similar to this and you don't know where to start, it just feels overwhelming. I always like to start no matter what the space looks like, even if it's relatively clean or whatever. I always like to start with trash and recycling. And for now, I'm focusing more on the obvious stuff, so obvious trash and recycling. So I'm not going through any of the boxes that have makeup I need to go through or bags that have products in it or anything I might need to store things in or whatever. I leave that for now. I'm really just going through the stuff that I know I can put in recycling or trash. So some of the examples of things that I was throwing away at this point, a lot of it was boxes that I had unboxed Halloween decorations during hauls, and I thought I might store the item back in the boxes and all that kind of stuff like after Halloween, but I didn't. I ended up putting them away or leaving it out all year round. So that kind of stuff. Also PR boxes or things that had fallen off my cart or out of just different things or just confetti. I had a ton of confetti and little fake spider confetti all over my floor. So every time I'd see one out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, I hope that's confetti and not a real spider. But this is also a day in the life of a spooky person. Anyways, here I'm just moving all of my lights out of the way, just getting the big bulky stuff out so I can freely move around this room. Before it was so cluttered, I don't even think I could move those or get them out of here. So it was nice to get them out of the way. Again, more recycling and trash, packaging for Halloween stuff mainly, or like little like a plastic slip that would fall out of a makeup palette or something. All those kind of things, that's kind of what I was throwing away at this point. All right, so after I take on all the visible, easy trash and recycling, I then move on to gathering any items in this room that do not belong in here. So I had some Starbucks tumblers, I had random cleaning supplies that I was going to do a cleaning supply haul with, but I didn't end up getting around to it. So I took those downstairs to the kitchen where I store that kind of stuff. And I was just deciding what kind of decor and props I wanted to leave on my desk. So I was trying to like kind of cover both bases. So have some desk decor, but also have them double as props if I need them for scenery, for photos, or for a background for video. So I was trying to kind of decide what I was going to keep in here and what I was going to take down and either store or put on shelves. And a lot of this decor in general is kind of in limbo right now since I'm redecorating my living room and then I'm wanting to redecorate this office. So I'm wanting to repaint it, redecorate. So I don't know exactly where everything's going to end up. So I was just trying to figure out what I was keeping in here for now until I redecorate. So you'll see all that as I clean off the desk here a little bit later. But for now, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm keeping here to begin with and taking the things I'm not keeping in here to their destinations. That was the longest story longer, but that's what I'm doing here. All right, so moving on to the rest of the room, we're going to continue playing the game, looking for things that don't belong in here. And I found some random hair extensions, some green hair all over the floor. It was originally in this little container that I ended up using for something else. And yeah, we're bringing it back, putting the hair extensions. We're containing the hair. No shame in my hairy floor game. All right, moving on to other things like coats, wigs, more hair, basically. Pillows, I had blankets, and I kind of put everything in little categories so that way I could carry everything to their destinations once I was finished. So all the pillows could go out together, all of the coats could be taken to the coat closet and hung up together. So that way I didn't have to make a bunch of different trips, but also I could make sure everything arrived at their destination. So that's kind of what I was doing here. Also in the deep abyss, I ended up finding the cutest little dog Halloween costume, this little unicorn costume that Neens wears. And so I, of course, had to try it on and then covered her up really quick before she hated me for the rest of her life. Moving on, I'm just grabbing the last couple of things that don't belong in this room. Grabbed the jack-o'-lantern to go hang out with his other jack-o'-lantern friends in the basement. And don't worry, I still had another little jack-o'-lantern I kept upstairs. But here I'm just starting to go through all the bags and the boxes that I had left. And I had left my trash bag and recycling bag up here because I knew as I went through these boxes and bags that I would find some trash or recycling and whatnot. I also had a donation box and donation bag that I had set aside for any donations that I was wanting to make. So here's where I'm making the real decisions. First, I'm walking through once again, looking for trash, looking for things that don't belong in this room and taking them to their destination. And there were also some things I knew I wasn't going to make decisions on yet. So mainly makeup, because my makeup's in the closet in my office, which I'm going to do in a separate video. So in this box, any makeup I came across went straight into this box. That way I could go through it later. This also helps me avoid distractions because I'm 100% that person that would go through all this makeup, swatch the whole thing, be totally wrapped up for hours and all excited and into it, and then not finish cleaning the rest of the room. So I really do try to remind myself as I'm going through everything, like, hey, your goal is to get through this and get the room clean. And the makeup in this box, that's a whole other day, a whole other task. Here I'm just going through more bags. This has a lot of little branchy things, and I had a whole little bag full of creepy cloths and tablecloths, things that I like to use for texture, for backgrounds, and just kind of draped over things. And you'll see what we end up doing with this later, like where we end up storing it. But for now, I'm putting them all in a bag and getting them all together. Also have this whole little wig box. This box goes into the closet as well. So I didn't go through any of the wigs or make any decisions. I just put them all in one place for now. And then I was going to put them in the closet, which you'll see here in a minute, and getting everything else, all of the different branchy things and floral things. I have an area in my basement where I store all of my Halloween floral stuff. So I put them in a box for now to take them down. Here I'm moving some stuff out of the way because I put my wig box back up into the closet. And it's not the worst, but it needs to be gone through again and decluttered. My closet does. So anyways, here I'm on the other side of the room, more stuff. Just when you thought it wasn't possible, there's more to go through. So just making all of these decisions. If you see a little stomach stuffed animal right there, I guess it's not an animal, just a stuffed stomach. There's kind of a weird backstory. I'll quickly tell it. Okay. When I was a kid, my favorite little stuffed not animal was this stuffed stomach that my dad had gotten from a work convention of all things. So of all the My Little Ponies, Barbies, Beanie Babies, of all of the things, the stuffed stomach really did it for me as a kid. And its name was Tummy, which is, I feel like, really original. Anyways, I can't remember if I lost Tummy or my dog ate it. Something tragic happened to Tummy. So one of my parents ended up coming across another Tummy way later. This is like my late 20s or so, and gave it to me for my birthday. And I was so excited about this Tummy. Anyways, yes, I'm still talking about a stuffed stomach right now. So, anyways, I feel like it says a lot about me. It explains everything about my adult life. It just inspired me to spread the message into my adulthood to stay weird. Let me know down in the comments if you had any weird things you liked as a kid, whether it's stuffed animals, maybe it's like a TV show, whatever it is. Let me know down in the comments something that was strange and unusual that you enjoyed as a child. All right. Anyways, moving on, we're going through more Halloween decorations. So I'm putting the rest of the decorations, also some Halloween costumes in this box. I'm going to take it straight down to the basement to be stored away. If you want to see a Halloween inventory / going through everything, trying to figure out what we're going to do, let me know down in the comments because I've got to get it together this year. I know I've already moved on to this cart, but I love talking about Halloween. So we're decluttering this cart. This is kind of what I have makeup on and hair products on. I either do makeup tutorials or hair tutorials. I'll put all the stuff on this cart. So I was just cleaning it out. And then we're back to the desk of doom. And we're going to be decluttering and organizing my desk drawers. And not a whole lot had been happening with these drawers since I haven't really been using my office. But even then, I like doing a little refresh, taking things out, thinking of ways to make my life easier. Like, what am I actually using in this drawer? What's going to help me out? Like a pair of scissors, for example. I got to have a pair of scissors in here because I'm always looking for them. But also a little stapler, Post-its, that kind of office stuff that you end up using, a little notebook, but also some chapstick. I also have this little organizer that I got for my memory cards. This is a game changer. I had them just laying around or them in their little cases just sprawled out, and it just was not working for me. So that really helped out. I also have my little mouse in there. Not a real mouse, but a computer mouse. Okay, other drawer Once again, taking things out, decluttering things, and I really just try to think of if I'm using anything or how long it's been since I've used it or if I need anything like that. But there really wasn't a whole lot to declutter since the last time we went through this. We had done a pretty good job then. So I had some notebooks or like some notepads, some extra staples, stapler, and a folder my dad had given me with some ancestry stuff, which it's kind of a hanging folder thing. So I need to get something else that's going to hold that a little bit better. But anyways, here I'm just taking out my trash and recycling, and we're getting into more organization. So this big case here is for my lighting if I want to store it, but I keep it up all the time. So I decided to put other camera things in here. So camera cases or camera mounts, like for my car, all that kind of stuff goes in here. Moving on to this drawer on wheels situation that I got from IKEA. I got this to kind of store some of my smaller camera equipment, but also, as you can see in this top drawer, pens, pencils. I also have some stationery in this little thing that you'll see here in a bit. But this top drawer is mainly pens and pencils. So here I'm just going through all my little containers and wiping them down. And I love using the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray in the orange clove scent. That's my favorite scent of all time by Mrs. Meyer's. If you know, you know. But I'm wiping down all these little containers. These are from various places, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond. They've kind of moved around. Some of them were in my desk drawer and now some of them are being used here. But I'm using these for my pens and pencils, checking my pens to see if any of them are dried out. If they are, I get rid of them. Also wipe down that drawer area itself. I kind of dusted it and then wiped it down once again with the Mrs. Meyer's orange clove situation. And then I started putting everything back. And in one container, I have all felt tip pens. In another container, I have all mechanical pencils. And in another one, I have all my ballpoint pens. And in the last one, I have all my highlighters. And that's kind of how I organize them. And once I have it down how I want things sorted, so all the ballpoint pens together, all the mechanical pencils together, and all that kind of stuff, I will move them around so I can get the best layout, or sometimes I'll think about, okay, what am I looking for when I open this drawer? What's the best layout gonna be, or like what's gonna be more convenient? Or if they're all equally as important or none of it matters, then I will just do what's the most aesthetically pleasing, which I kind of went for in this scenario. So I ended up putting all my mechanical pencils on the right side and then my ballpoint pens in the front. And that's how it turned out. All right, moving on to the next drawer. In here, I was keeping my stationery, stickers, and a couple of tarot card decks in here. So I took everything out of the drawer and wiped it down once again with my good old Mrs. Meyer's Orange Clove. And although this video is not sponsored by Orange Clove, my soul is sponsored by Orange Clove because I'll never get over this scent. It is so good. All right, so now that I've bared my Orange Clove soul to you, we're gonna put all this back into this drawer, all the different stationery and spooky stickers and all the things. And I set aside my tarot cards. I think I ended up putting them in my actual desk drawer for now because I want to do a little altar thing with my tarot cards and my crystals and all that, but I just don't know where I'm putting it yet or what I'm doing, so I set them aside for now. Anyways, this drawer has a bunch of miscellaneous items like this Game Boy Color that I nerd out about every time I come across it because I have my little Pokemon game in there. I'm telling you, I freaking love nostalgia. It just warms my soul. So anyways, taking everything out of this drawer, wiping it down, and I had a bunch of random cords laying around and everything just sprawled out everywhere in here, so I used my handy dandy trick with my old makeup bags. I love repurposing makeup bags, Ipsy bags, all the different things because I feel like we end up with them and don't know what to do with them. And I love using them for purse storage and any other small storage for cords. And here I'm organizing my camera straps. I'm just kind of wrapping them around my hand and then putting them in this little container. This was kind of a makeup container, a little like pencil divider container thing, and putting them in there. And really the next 3 drawers I ended up doing at the same time because they had a lot of similar equipment in there, mainly my camera equipment. So different lens caps or camera straps or battery chargers, all that kind of stuff. Also my hard drives. And I go through everything to make sure I'm using everything, make sure I even have the matching camera to a lot of this stuff. So I am decluttering as I'm going through this process, but mainly in this process, I'm trying to come up with a better solution as far as organizing everything. So in this drawer, I have all my clamps that I use for backdrops and reflector kind of things. And then in another drawer, I have all my backup camera stuff. So my Canon and my small Sony. My everyday camera, I use a Fujifilm, and then when I'm on the go or for vlogs, I use my GoPro. So those I keep out separately. And in this drawer, I have extra cords and my hard drives in here as well. And then we're back to the desk of doom, and I'm clearing everything off so we can wipe it down and then put everything back up. I'm dusting everything off with this microfiber cloth from Dollar Tree. Love their microfiber cloths there. And then I'm going to spray down my glass top with my favorite glass concoction. So I just take a regular bottle that I had used up, whatever was in it. Then I fill it a third of the way with kitchen vinegar or white vinegar or whatever, the kitchen vinegars in the big jug. You know what I'm talking about? And then you fill it the rest of the way. Did I say third of the way with that stuff? Yeah. And then the rest of the way with water. It is my favorite glass cleaner, mirror cleaner. It is amazing. And you can also add essential oils if you don't want it to smell like feet, but the feet smell doesn't last that long. Anyways, and then all my cloths I use that aren't microfiber, I just take old towels and I repurpose them by cutting them into small squares. And yeah, I love keeping them under sinks and everywhere just so I can have them to grab really quickly. And I feel like you never run out of old towels. They just, they just don't last forever, do they? Okay, we're moving on to decorating. The desk is what we're doing, Desk of Doom. And I don't know why I keep calling it the Desk of Doom. I guess it just sounds fancy, but also I like surrounding myself with spooky things all year round. So I do a good combination of spooky things, like things I gather during Halloween season, and nostalgic things. Like you'll see my original Furby in there and a Magic 8-Ball and all that kind of stuff in here. So I like nostalgic things mixed in with spooky things, but also this seems like a lot, maybe for a lot of people, but I also like to keep things on my desk that I can grab, like I mentioned earlier, for different props, things for different photos or background of videos and stuff like that. I also have my little hand from Bath & Body Works last year that I'm going to use as a drink holder. It's my Baja Blast holder. That's what it's going to be. So it is a lot. There's a lot surrounding my desk, but I'm hoping to put up some shelves eventually where we can kind of balance it out a little bit more. But ultimately, I just want to feel good in this space since I'll be working here and I want it to keep me motivated and just feel good about it. So if a minimalist space is better for you, go for that. Or maybe it's somewhere in between my spooky situation and a minimalist look. Whatever it is that makes you happy, that inspires you in your workspace, go for that. I'm all about that. Okay. All right. Back to the rest of the room now that we're done with the desk area. Just making some finishing touches with some organizing. So I'm using this decorative box that I got from Joann's last year during Halloween season, and I'm folding up and storing any creepy cloths or mantle scarves, tablecloths, anything that can be used as a backdrop, or if I need it laid over or something or use it for whatever, storing it in this box, and it'll eventually go in the closet when we do the closet clean out. And next we're preparing to clean the floors. So I'm going to get my broom and my staff out of the way, just natural things like that. And then I'm going to get out my handy dandy Dyson, the secret love of my, it's not so secret anymore, but it's pretty much the love of my life other than my husband and dogs. The order of where those things fall though is irrelevant. Kidding. I'm kidding. I just love this thing. It really makes my life so much easier, and I can't stop jabbing my jaws every time I do a cleaning video. I just talk about how much I love my Dyson, and I just want to write a love letter to it. Watch me. I cleaned the baseboards. Now I'm cleaning the blinds with it. This attachment, by the way, okay, if you have a Dyson, what's your favorite attachment? Let's geek out about it in the comments. I love this half brush, half knot. I just feel like it's the most appropriate for all situations. Every vent, every blind, every baseboard. It's like half broom, half suction. I don't even know, but and this is an older one, by the way, and it's still going strong. We thought about getting another one around Black Friday, but held off because this one still is in pretty good shape and seems to be doing the job. So, I would never be mad at two, but they are kind of expensive, although they're worth every penny. I think this is, of all the things I've wasted my money on, this thing has been worth 10 times over what I paid for it. But also, it just fills my heart with complete joy. Like I said, I would totally marry this if I could. Not really. I'm not that creepy about my Dyson, but also I have no shame in being this creepy about it. Anyways, we switched to this sexy attachment. No, I'm vacuuming with this. All right, we're moving on from the Dyson. I'm sorry. We're going to mop this floor with a little Method squirt and mop. And this is in the almond scent. This is my favorite scent of all things. It smells so good, the almond scent. Oh man, it smells good. Also, look at Neen's admiring those floors. She's definitely scoping out a place to leave a nice little present. This seriously leaves my floors so shiny. Look at that shine. You can see the reflection in it. Yes, I love it. Okay, here we go. Anyways, we're putting some things back now that we're all cleaned up. Putting back my little, this is where I film typically, so you can see a little visual of what what it looks like behind the scenes. And so I've got this little stool and I drape a little creepy cloth over it. And then I have this plant from Target Halloween a couple of years ago. Then I have another plant that I got from Michael's, the one on the left, got from Michael's and spray painted it black. And then I'm just setting up my lighting in the general vicinity of where it goes, but like closer to the wall so I have some space. And then I just use this same chair against the wall as I do at my desk, so I just wheel it over. All right, moving on to the bathroom. There wasn't a whole lot to clear out of here, just some Halloween costumes that I got earlier. But other than that, there wasn't much in here. It's a really, really small bathroom. It was actually super hard to get these shots because it's so small. My tripod barely fit in here. Anyways, here I'm just replacing a toilet seat that had been broken 3,000 years ago. I'm unscrewing the little thing and then pulling it off, and it was pretty gnarly under there. I never cleaned under there, and it looks yummy. Oh God. Anyways, now I'm just taking everything out of the bathroom. So things off of the toilet seat, out of the shower, off the sink. Took the trash can out, everything out of the bathroom. Now I'm going to start working my way from the top of the room to the bottom. So I start off dusting all the nooks and crannies up by the ceiling, then all the light bulbs, get those all dusted off, get the corners of the rooms, the art, the top of the toilet, just work my way all the way down the room and get everything nice and dusted off. Then I'm going to bust out my handy dandy Dyson. I'm going to get down on the floorboards and get the floor. I don't even use my regular vacuum attachment. I just use my brush attachment and get the floorboards and also the floor because it's so small in here. I don't really have a lot to cover. So I get the floorboards, get in there, get any dust, get any cobwebs, any critters, whatever I can find on the floor. I just get it all nice and vacuumed up. So now that all the crusty stuff is dusted off, we're going to get in there and we're going to clean. I've got the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray in the orange clove scent. I also have a bottle that looks like the orange clove scent, but it's got vinegar and water in it. And it's the older bottle, so I can tell the difference, but also I can just open up the cap and smell. And one smells like feet, one smells like fall in a bottle. So anyways, I'm going to take the vinegar and water mixture and spray down my mirror and wipe it down again. I cannot get enough of the vinegar and water mix. For windows and mirrors, I don't know, there's something about it. It just takes zero effort and it's super clear, no streaks, love it. Anyways, now I'm going to take my Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose spray in the orange clove scent again, and I'm going to spray down my sink. And then I'm going to run a Sponge Daddy sponge under hot water so it kind of softens up a little bit, squeeze it out, and then I'm going to wipe down around the sink, in the crevices everywhere, and in the not in the faucet, but around the faucet, and really get in all the little tiny crevices and make sure everything gets nice and clean. And then I squeeze out my sponge and kind of rinse out some of the soap and then wipe it down one more time before I go in with a dry cloth and wipe everything down. And it looks so nice and shiny. There's something about a clean sink that just gets me, like a whole shiny clean sink. It just feels so good, so refreshing. And a nice clean mirror. Ooh, yes, love it. Also, while I'm at it, I'm going to spray down the cabinets with my all-purpose spray and wipe it down. This was not too bad at all. I really don't use this sink much, so there weren't many fingerprints or anything like that. I was just giving it a nice wipe down to get any dust and stuff off. All right, moving on to the shower. To clean the shower, I'm going to be using one of those little Scotch-Brite scrubber things for dishes, but I'm going to be using it in the shower. And I filled it about a quarter of the way with Dawn dish soap and the rest of the way with vinegar. It was about a quarter to a third. I don't know. I just kind of poured it in there and then put some vinegar in there. Once again, it's that kitchen vinegar and the big jug, that one. Okay, so my friend told me about this, that her mom cleans her shower like this and keeps it really sparkly clean, and it's like their whole secret. And because I was telling her how much I really hate cleaning showers. It's my least favorite thing to do. And then I started seeing it floating around the interwebs and all the social media apps. So I was like, all right, I'm definitely trying this. And it does make my life so much easier, mainly because you can scrub the whole shower with it. So the walls, the benches, any of the fixtures, also the glass doors, everything can be scrubbed with this. And it gets all the soap scum and everything off and gets it all nice and sparkling clean. The one thing I will say though, is this is definitely easier if you have one of those spray nozzle kind of, what am I thinking of? The shower thing. Shower head, that's what it is. If you have a spray shower head, you can kind of just rinse everything off. Otherwise, what I had to do is I had to take a big cup and pour water in it and then kind of pour it over to rinse everything off. My shower head didn't reach all of the nooks and crannies to get everything rinsed off. So I could get like the floor and the sidewall and everything, but all the little areas that don't get quite wet like that, I had to use a cup. But either way, it was way easier using this and it actually worked. So before it was like I was barely getting through soap scum and stuff like that, where this actually got it off and way easier, way less work. So I will say with a spray nozzle situation, this thing would have taken me 2.5 seconds and I would have been done. So here I'm just finishing the floor and getting in the little, I don't know, I want to say nooks and crannies, but I've said it like 3,000 times already. But you know, there's the little detailed areas on the side, little metal areas. Go in with an old toothbrush. I love using old toothbrushes. I love repurposing a lot of things. I like using old toothbrushes to kind of get into the little areas. And then here I'm just giving the glass doors one last shine with some water and vinegar mixture on the inside and the outside of the glass doors. So I'm just going to wipe them down really quick. Or actually, I'm spraying them first, then wiping them down with a microfiber cloth. Oh, and while I'm at it, I'm drying everything off. So all of the walls and the seats and everything that I had rinsed off, I'm going to dry off now that I got all the soap stuff off. And last but not least, I'm spraying and wiping down the floor one last time since I was just standing here just to give it one last little clean and drying it off. Oh, and then here I'm doing the outside of the glass door. So I guess I didn't do that before I lied. Moving on to the toilet. I'm going to spray the top part of the toilet and the handle situation and wipe all of that down, get that all cleaned off. Then I'm going to spray down around the bottom of the toilet, all up and around the toilet. And then I grab my sponge and start scrubbing. I'm going to scrub all the top of the toilet and then around the side of the toilet and at the base, like at the bottom by the floor. And while I'm at it down here, I go ahead and clean around the toilet since a mop really can't fit around here. I really don't even mop these floors. I just scrub them all by hand because it is such a small space. It's just so much easier to do it while I'm there rather than get out a whole mop and water and all the stuff. So I just scrub it by hand. I mean, all this is near around the toilet, so it's all got particles all over it anyway, so I'll scrub it all together. Anyways, get it nice and clean, wiping everything down, getting all around the toilet, getting behind it, especially right behind it. It gets all dusty and crusty back there, so I'm getting it all wiped down. So before I finish the floors, I'm going to clean my actual toilet. I'm going to use one of those Clorox wand things. I actually find that these work really well. I found that they work better than my toilet cleaner and scrub brush. Some of the brushes are either too aggressive or they just aren't shaped right to where they don't get underneath. Like I still got to go in with a small brush, like a little old toothbrush or something and get underneath there. And this one actually it gets underneath and gets all that good stuff, but it was kind of leaving a little bit of a ring around. I tried a brush, didn't work. So I got out a good old pumice stone and used this and it got off there was a ring around the toilet that I'm sure was there because I couldn't even get to the toilet to clean it because everything was stacked up. So I had to get the ring out around the toilet. I got this pumice stone from Amazon. I'll link it in the description if you're looking for it. But it really helped get the ring off and any hard water stains. And then I'm just going to wipe down the rest of the floor. And for the floors, I was just using all-purpose spray and wiping it down with a towel. But if you had harder stains or anything that was stuck to the floor or anything like that, you could use, your Dawn dish soap and vinegar that you used in the shower. It depends on what floor you have. If you have tile or linoleum, I have linoleum here, you'd probably be fine with that. I was just using an all-purpose spray. But of course, if you have wood, then you want to use something that's safe to use on wood. But yeah, I'm just using the all-purpose spray and wiping it down because the linoleum's super easy. I hope one day to tile this area, but I don't know the first thing about tile, but I could try. It's really small, so I feel like this would be a good place to start, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, just finishing this off, and I kind of mop my way or scrub my way out of the room. So I kind of started in the back corner and now I'm scrubbing my way to the door and out the door and then just finishing off that little walkway right there. Finally, just wiping down my light switches, and now I am putting this room back together. So I'm putting a new toilet seat on. I'm all excited about this. I've been waiting to do this. Actually, I've just been procrastinating. I haven't been waiting to do it. I just have been putting it off. So I'm finally doing this, got it screwed back on. I love doing little projects like this. It makes me feel so fulfilled. I'm like, look at this toilet seat. I am proud. Thumbs up. Anyways, moving on to my sink, just adding some little decorative touches. I don't know what I'm doing in this room yet. It's all beige and tan and my least favorite colors. So we're just making it work for now. So I'm putting together my little shower aesthetic. I have my Function of Beauty shampoo and conditioner and my little Wicked Vanilla Woods body wash. And I thought that was the perfect little aesthetic. Also putting a little towel, just decorative towels in here. Both of these towels, I believe, are from Target. So I'm just getting them all situated. Also a little rug, also from Target.
And then this is how my clean bathroom looks. Looks so nice and fresh, and it smells good. Now that we have a nice, fresh, clean bathroom, I'm so excited to show you the before and after of the office. So here it comes. Are you ready? All right, so here's the before of the office. Feeling like it doesn't even look like the same office. And the after, oh my gosh, we can see the floor again. I bet you didn't even know what color it was. It was a mystery. No, if you've been around here for a while, you know what color the floor was. But if you weren't, maybe you were like, is there carpet? Is there wood? What's happening? But now we've got a full-on floor going on. But I can't wait to redecorate in here and do all that. But I'm just so happy this is done. It feels like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders and I can finally create in this space again. It feels amazing. I'm actually doing this voiceover in the office right now. I haven't been able to do that in so long, so it just feels so good. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me for another episode of My Secret Mess and helping me clean everything out and organize and do the whole thing. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, say hey ghoul hey down in the comments because you know I love talking to you. And yeah, let me know down in the comments anywhere you're decluttering or where your secret mess is, if you have a secret mess in your home. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time.